You probably think you understand how the world works, right? You follow the rules, believe what makes sense, and trust that most of what you do every day is normal. But what if I told you that much of what you call common sense is actually carefully packaged nonsense that society repeats until it sounds like truth? Welcome to the Knownsense, where we peel back the logic of everyday life and reveal the quiet absurdities hiding behind it. Let's start with time. Everyone says time heals all wounds, but that's not true. Time doesn't heal, it hides. What really heals is reflection, forgiveness, and understanding. Without them, time just covers pain like dust on a forgotten shelf. It's still there, you just stop looking at it. People say money can't buy happiness, yet the lack of money causes most unhappiness. Money can't buy meaning, but it can buy freedom, and freedom is what happiness breathes through. When someone says, money isn't everything, it's usually someone who's never had to count the cost of peace. Another myth, follow your passion. Sounds inspiring, right? But passion isn't something you find, it's something you build. Most people don't wake up loving what they do, they fall in love with what they practice. Passion grows from mastery, and mastery begins where comfort ends. If you only chase what excites you, you'll quit when it gets hard, and everything that matters eventually gets hard. Then there's this one, be yourself, a beautiful lie, because no one really tells you who that self is supposed to be. Instead, you're given labels, introvert, empath, alpha, star sign, personality type, and you begin performing the version of you those labels describe. Real self-awareness isn't defining who you are, but observing who you become when no one's watching. It's noticing the subtle shifts in your behavior when you're not trying to impress anyone. Yet the world keeps selling identities like clothes, and most of us keep wearing masks that don't fit. We're told, don't care what others think, but humans are wired for connection. Caring is natural, depending on approval is not. The trick is to care selectively, to value feedback without letting it define you. Because if applause builds your confidence, silence will destroy it. Here's another common illusion. People confuse busyness with productivity. We chase full calendars, endless notifications, and dopamine pings from emails because stillness feels unproductive. But stillness is where insight lives. Most people are too busy reacting to ever truly think. The modern world rewards motion, not meaning. That's why we scroll endlessly, seeking stimulation instead of understanding. We mistake information for knowledge and opinions for wisdom. But knowledge comes when you pause long enough to listen to the silence after learning. Society loves to repeat rules that once made sense but no longer do. We teach kids to memorize facts they can Google in 2 seconds. We tell adults to chase stability in a world that changes every 6 months. We treat ambition like virtue, but rest like laziness. The truth is, progress without pause turns humans into machines, and machines don't dream. Speaking of dreams, let's talk about success. People worship it like a religion, yet few can define it. For some, it's wealth, for others, peace or purpose. But here's the truth, success is rented, not owned, and rent is due every day. You don't keep it by reaching the top, you keep it by showing up when no one's watching. The real winners aren't those who sprint fastest, they're the ones who never stop walking. And ironically, the higher you climb, the quieter it gets. That silence is where most people quit because they mistake loneliness for failure when it's actually growth. Another strange piece of known nonsense, control. Humans crave it. We plan our futures, map our careers, schedule our emotions, and still wonder why anxiety never leaves, because control is an illusion, understanding is real. Life was never meant to be mastered, it was meant to be explored. The ocean doesn't fight the tide, it moves with it. The more you resist uncertainty, the more life feels like chaos. But once you accept it, chaos becomes rhythm. Every mistake becomes a teacher. Every delay becomes protection. And every ending becomes transformation. Then there's happiness, the most misunderstood pursuit of all. We chase it like a destination when it's actually a decision. Happiness isn't found, it's built from perspective. You can't wait for life to stop being hard before you choose to feel grateful. Gratitude isn't denial of pain, it's recognition of balance. The happiest people aren't those with the most pleasure. They're the ones who give meaning to their pain. We keep saying, I'll be happy when, but when never comes. Because happiness is now or never. One more bit of known sense. People fear failure like it's final, but failure is just feedback with emotion attached. You only lose when you stop analyzing what the loss taught you. Life isn't about winning every time. It's about staying teachable every time. The smartest people aren't the ones who know the most. They're the ones who can unlearn fast. We live in a world obsessed with being right, but real growth begins the moment you admit you might be wrong. And here's the paradox. The more you know, the more nonsense you start to see. You notice how much of society runs on repetition, not reason, on convenience, not conscience. You realize that the biggest lie is thinking everyone else knows what they're doing. Nobody really does. We're all improvising, pretending to be sure until it works. The people who seem most confident are often the most uncertain, but have simply learned how to dance with doubt. So maybe life isn't about finding the ultimate truth. Maybe it's about recognizing which lies you've outgrown. The world runs on stories: money, success, love, identity. They're all stories we agree to believe. And when you start questioning them, you don't become lost. You become awake. That's the essence of known sense. Seeing through what everyone accepts without asking why. So next time someone tells you, that's just how things are, ask them, but does it make sense? Because progress has never come from people who accepted the world as it is. It came from those who noticed the nonsense in what everyone else called normal. If this made you think, drop a like, share it with someone who's still asleep to the obvious, and subscribe to the Knownsense, where we don't just explain the world, we untangle it, one truth at a time.